Well, yeah, welcome. Let's get started. Our objective is really to, equip the local businesses in Simcoe County with this knowledge of what filmmaking is all about, and how we can. It's a thriving industry. It's a big industry. How we can become part of this. How businesses, vendors, freelancers, and service providers can all start to serve and work within the film industry as it exists, and understanding that it does exist here, but how can we expand on it too? So we'll start having those kinds of conversations as well. Which is a good opportunity to look at those kind of building moments. So I wanted to start off. I have a testimonial from a company called the Collingwood Film Company. Jesse Thomas Cook, he's a producer and co-owner, and he put together highlights of what it's like to film here. So I wanted to start with that video.
Hi, I'm director and producer Jesse Thomas Cook of Collingwood Film Company. It's a company my wife and I started in 2018, and we specialize in producing cutting-edge independent genre cinema, such as horror films and science fiction films. Our films are available on Amazon Prime, Netflix, Apple TV, and various streaming services. And our last film, Cult Hero, which we filmed in Owen Sound and in Collingwood, was nominated for 6 Canadian Screen Awards at the 2023 Canadian Screen Awards. To date, we've filmed 14 feature films in the local area, and you're going to see footage from some of those movies over top of my little talk today. I was born and raised in Collingwood. I went to university in Toronto, but I came back to the area to produce my first film in 2007. We took that film to the Cannes Film Market in 2008, and after that we started Foresight Features, which was a Collingwood-based company that made 10 genre films between 2010 and 2018. We chose to base our operations in Collingwood primarily because we're from here and we just love the area so much. We film here in every single season. We've got Blue Mountain, we've got Georgian Bay, and it's just a wonderful area of really creative people coming together in this great collaborative process we call feature films. Some of the benefits of filming here in Simcoe County, on top of just the plethora of amazing creative people, are the vendors, the hotels, the restaurants, the car rental places, just so many cool businesses, all willing to help out feature film productions. And on top of receiving federal and provincial tax credits, we also receive a 10% bonus regional credit for filming outside of the GTA. In terms of vendors, we're always looking for caterers, production equipment, staffing, props, vehicles, locations. Again, we've produced 14 films in this area, and we try to draw in as much local talent, local resources as is possible. We really enjoy filming in Simcoe County. Our films are seen across the world in film festivals and again on all the streaming services. It was always my dream to make films with my friends in my hometown, and I've been able to do that over the last 15 years by filming in Collingwood. I highly encourage you to get involved with filmmaking and with film production, whether you're a vendor, whether you're a filmmaker yourself, or just somebody who's interested in the process. It draws in all the various art forms, from music to set design, acting, everything. We also like to highlight the actual region within our films. So for instance, our film Septic Man is set right here in Collingwood. We don't try to hide that. Yeah, we've made a number of films set right here in Simcoe County, some set in Owen Sound, but we just love filming on Southern Georgian Bay, and we just like to highlight who we are and where we're from. Thank you.
Yeah, so you can see a testimonial, local-based, Simcoe County-based film producer, director. I'll introduce myself. So my name is Tom Sternad. I'm a filmmaker. I moved to the Simcoe County area, Blue Mountains, presently now in 2010 from Toronto. And the big reason for moving up to this area was to access the locations. So that's, I think, really important, that draw of the area. And I think that's the natural beauty, the natural locations. And you can see in that last clip all the different locations that Jesse's using. They're not available in Toronto. So that's why, it's same idea for him. He could be in Toronto, but he chose to stay here in Collingwood. How does this happen? So making a film, but then, in the production side, the film and television productions, they need to find studios and then locations for the filming. So the script is written, but then they need to find things to fulfill that script, the vision, the types of locations. So this is what we're looking at, is this on-location filming, this regional filming that is taking the existing locations. Okay, so local production initiative. So this, what's happening? How does this all occur? we have the Nottawasaga Film Liaison office, and that provides the assistance to find the location. It informs the local businesses. It also works on policy, permitting process to make sure that towns and that are part of South Simcoe can work with a potential film and get ready to welcome them and advise them on how to make that happen. So, through the stats, through the office, there's been over 100 productions in South Simcoe from 2013 to 2023, so in 10 years. Things like Murdoch Mysteries, Nightmare Alley, The Boys, Umbrella Academy, Titans, Jack Reacher, so all the big shows and ongoing shows. Then the big draw thing here is the unique locations. So Simcoe County has all of these, extremely unique locations. So we have the South Simcoe Railway, we have the Gibson Center for the Arts, all the historic downtown centers, Collingwood, Creemore, Georgian Bay, like all the different water, Lake Simcoe. We have all of these amazing waterfronts and natural worlds that can be filmed in. So that's a big, big draw, is usually nature. So here's a picture. Where else can you find, a working steam train? Then you look at this one, the Gibson Center, right? A beautiful location as well. Things like in Collingwood, where you have the waterfront, the gathering circle, the terminal building in the back, right? So you have these kinds of opportunities for, again, unique locations. I'm going to show a clip from the Collingwood Public Library that stands in for a university classroom, just to show how, a location can be used.
And that, in a nutshell, is criminal psychology. So, after all that, who thinks this sounds boring? Really? Well, as criminal psychologists, we're on the ground floor. I mean, sure, detectives and lawyers and scientists, pretty much everyone gets more credit than us. But we're the ones who get to decide whether a suspect stands trial or walks free, or whether or not a witness's testimony is taken as fact or as fiction. It's pretty neat, huh? Wow, tough crowd. Okay, well, how about murder? Ooh, you like that stuff. That's exciting, right? Well, basically, using our minds, we can help determine whether someone is innocent or guilty.
What if you're wrong?
Good question from the girl I have never met. Look, we're always working to adopt a greater understanding of the human mind. And that said, it's not an exact science. So, really, the best we can do is strive to minimize the possibility of being wrong.
So that's a clip from a film called Darker Than Night by Riverbank Pictures. They're just based in Clarksburg or the Blue Mountains area. So Collingwood Public Library, that's the community rooms that are kind of upstairs there. I don't know if any of you have been there, but that the glass walls and so on. So they saw it and said, okay, well, this can work for a university, like small lab, like lecture room. Once it films there, that's something that the library can now also access and promote and say, look, we did this film here, having some photos. And I really encourage it. I think the Nottawasaga Film Liaison Office and they always getting pictures of when things are happening. That's really key. So now the library can say, okay, look, this film was there, getting the behind the scenes pictures, going back to the producers. If you've worked with someone and helped them set something up, ask for some photos to use for promotion, right? Everyone's happy to do that because it helps promote the film too, right? It's free publicity as well. And then, that's the thing too, is like we can start to connect. So now we're meeting here. We can start to connect with the Nottawasaga Film Liaison to be added to that local database. We want to hear from everyone. So, make sure, share this. And we want to get as much of a database going. And that's one of the goals after this workshop series, is to be able to put everyone together so that we can get out of silos, get out of the different regions and so on, and start to look at it as a bigger whole. And it's only by having a database that it can help promote it as a whole, versus it's really hard to spend the time and find all these things. Then what happens is the production company will often just bring it from Toronto and say, okay, I got a wardrobe person, I'll bring a truck up with wardrobe. But there could be a wealth of resources here that they just don't know about because it's not put together in one spot. So then also connect with the local companies. So I started, there's over 20 film and television companies in the area. Collingwood Film Company, Jesse Thomas Cook, that intro that I showed in the beginning, he's always looking for people to work with, service providers and so on. So it doesn't hurt to just reach out to understand, okay, there's companies out there, you can start to reach out. Because if you work with some local production companies, it's going to be usually a little bit easier to get your foot in the door and say, hey, I have a location, I have a car, I have catering services. And then all of a sudden you have a credit, right? So you can say, hey, I worked on this film. You can have photos of your catering from the film. You can then prove to future films that you know how it works and you know what's expected, right? So that you can make that happen. And then another company, Riverbank Pictures, I showed that clip from the Collingwood Public Library. And and that's another company that does a lot of different productions. And I have a testimonial from Francis Mitchell. He's the producer there. And one of the things that's really neat is this synergy thing's always neat. So tourism, agriculture, the industries we have here is that they use an apple warehouse for filming off season when the apple warehouse isn't used anymore to build a studio in it.
Hey, how you doing? It's Francis Mitchell here at Riverbank Pictures. I'm here in beautiful Cagliari, Sardinia, filming our newest project, and just want to say a few things about the incredible filming and opportunities in Collingwood and the Blue Mountains area. While we love to travel and shoot chef-driven shows, we've filmed about 3 series in a feature film and a cooking show, all in the Blue Mountains and Collingwood area. I think what we love about there, not only are we from there, we love the landscape, the incredible locations to film. Also really cool, unique studio potential spaces. We have filmed a couple seasons of a kids show in an old Apple storage facility, one of which, How Do You Feel for TVO Kids, was nominated for a Canadian Screen Award. We also filmed a cooking show called Open Fire with chefs Craig Hardy and Rob Rossi in my backyard at my parents' house, and we built sort of essentially a cooking studio outside with the Beaver River behind it that has done really well. The other thing that we really love about filming in the area is the incredible bounty of food and caterers. We've worked with a number of just great people using local products, and we've had people from Toronto come up and say this is the best catering that they've had on any project. So I think that's a huge bonus, and I think there's a lot of untapped potential there with local crew, with post facilities, people like Tom Sternad and Mountain Goat, who has worked with us on a number of projects and has supported us on post-production and has helped us deliver countless projects, some complicated. We do love filming there, and we can't wait to film more and support local creators, local producers, local people who are getting in the game or who have moved up there that are looking to build their network. So yeah, we're excited, and thanks so much, guys.
Welcome to Open Fire. I'm Chef Craig Harding.
And I'm Chef Rob Rossi. And we're going to show you how to cook simple, local food outside over a fire. You just move the coals where you want the heat.
That's a really good tip. The last thing for us to do is to try it.
Hey friends, welcome to the Feeling Zone. Do you ever feel worried about something? We've all got things we're scared of, but it's a lot of pressure. My friend Crystal knows what that feels like. It reminds me of a story my friend Joe told me. Let me tell you more.
Daisy is afraid of sleepovers. Michael feels confused. Vicky felt like crying when she was hit. When Molly gets scared, she gets nervous.
And remember, it's okay to feel nervous or happy or scared or angry or anything. And that comforts me.
Some days you might be mad. Other days they start off right. Then you end up sad, but it's okay. 'Cause we wanna know, how do you feel? Yeah, how do you feel?
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Yeah, my pleasure.